Well, well, well. It's time for review. Another review on a Scooby-Doo episode. This time we're going to be looking at Season 2, Episode 8, San Francisco. This episode came out in 2004. It was a What's New Scooby-Doo episode. And I want to talk about it and tell you guys my thoughts on it. But you guys know the drill. If you guys want to be notified for future videos, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. And you guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Or X, whatever you want to call it. There I will be, posting stuff occasionally and all that to keep you guys updated. But anywho, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's review this episode. So, this episode here is about, apparently, it focuses on skateboarding. And I guess we got this creepy monster guy named the Samson Psycho, or whatever the heck he's called, ends up kidnapping skateboarders and all that. Because I guess he wants to. And, of course, it's up to the Scooby-Doo gang to just solve the mystery, as usual, Because the kids, have to, figure out who's behind who. I gotta say, though, I will say that the monster himself, I will say, I do think he's very creepy looking. Like, I'll give him that he looks very creepy. He's very creepy with the red eyes and his claws and all that. He also has, like, a creepy hook for a hand, too, so I'll give him that. And he's very threatening, too. He's a very threatening monster. But I will say, though, his backstory, honestly, it's not very, it's very out of nowhere. Like, it makes no sense. So if you guys don't know, What's New Scooby-Doo has this thing where they tell backstories a lot of times with the monsters. They've done this in the past occasionally too. Like in Scooby-Doo Where Are You, they had a few episodes like that, and then they also had that, and like with the, there's the 10,000 Bolt Ghost and all that, in the Scooby-Doo show episode. So they've done this stuff before. But the thing is, though, they do this a lot more on this show than they do on the other ones. They tell, like, backstories of these creatures. And this one, they have one, apparently this one guy, this tourist guy, I guess, he has to get money from them for him to tell the story, I guess, so the gang has to pay him money. So he tells them that he comes from an island that's for prisoners, and apparently he was a guy named, I think he was named Clayton or something, I don't remember, or Clyde, I think his name was Clyde, yes, his name was Clyde, and he, but he comes from, an island, apparently. What makes no sense, though, is, I will admit, I do like his backstory, but which makes no sense. It has nothing to do with the Sans from Psycho, It has nothing to do with him, with him, basically, terrorizing, the skateboarders and kidnapping them, I mean, basically, our tourist guy does say something about, like, that everybody feared him, but he didn't fear them. Maybe he was a child pervert or something, and went after children or something. I don't really know. Or, like, he was a serial killer, and maybe, I don't know, like, they're not very clear on exactly why he, is kidnapping, why he got sent to jail and all that, but what ends up happening, apparently he escapes, and goes on the water, and I guess a shark comes out of nowhere and freaking eats him alive. Honestly, that's some fucked up stuff, if I have to say so myself. But yes, but apparently though he basically died and all that, and yeah, that prison apparently has been abandoned for a while too. Probably makes sense. I mean, in real life, they don't have prisons on islands anymore. They're all kind of abandoned because of stuff like that happening. Which honestly, I don't know. I mean, the prisoners kind of usually deserve it. I mean, there are times where they can get arrested and not do anything wrong, or someone can set them up. But a lot of times, these prisoners are set to an island or a prison in general for a reason. So I don't really you shouldn't really feel bad for them to get eaten alive most of the time. But I don't know. I don't understand the logic there. But what ends up happening is they go to investigate, and I guess I'm not gonna lie, they don't spend a very long time. They're like they spend about a few minutes there, which kind of sucks. I would have loved if it took more place at the prison. That would have made more sense. But no. Apparently, the monster, I guess, lures him back because he takes off with a boat, and then they end up like having to go back to the island using another boat, which is coincidentally there. Like, there's just a random boat, covered in a sheet. I guess maybe the monster had a boat there or something and just decided to steal the other one, which makes me wonder why he didn't just wreck that boat too. But I don't know. I mean, it could have been just sitting there for years too, just, but it makes me wonder why it ain't out of gas. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of confusing. But apparently they also get attacked by sharks too, because I don't know, like, they get attacked by sharks because there's a bunch of sharks and all that, and they barely escape their lives. And I guess the person who the tourist guy there who led him there and all that, yeah, I'm glad he didn't give two shits about, that, those kids were on that island and could have got, fucking killed, I mean, if I could have been more concerned, but no, the very next day he's giving another tour, so I'm just like, oh, that's kind of a bit of a dick move right there, But I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid with that and all that. But the monster also, goes after a tour bus, and then while Velma and Shaggy and Scooby, go and investigate this one person, that's covered in red and all that. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's really. That interesting, honestly. I feel like the episode's kind of just, I don't know, it's just, I mean, I will say the monster himself is threatening, and there are some moments I like, but I don't know, this episode's just not very, it's not very good, it's more so meh, because I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a meh here, and 65 points. Yeah, I was very close to giving it a good. Honestly, I had a very hard time deciding if I wanted to give this episode a meh or, a good. But I chose meh because, honestly, there's not a lot of moments that are very, like, I don't feel like there's a lot of moments I really care about in this episode. I will say, I do like the moment where they're like I said, they were on the boat and all that, and the sharks kind of came out of nowhere, and They did go to like a old prison, but they were not there very long and all that, and I will say, despite the villain's backstory not really making sense for the monster like at all, I still think it is a very interesting backstory and all that. But another thing that I really cannot stand, this is what kind of really hurts the episode, is the culprit behind the whole attack. And that is, I forgot what her name was. She's like one of the judges. She basically, does all of this shit because, apparently she's, like, girls are not allowed on to skateboard. Which absolutely is bullshit, because she literally fucking drug somebody, and was trying to drug them into the, the hole underneath the skateboard, ramp. So the whole thing is just stupid. It makes no sense. So I just don't get that. Also, the gang also says something about her, like they figured out it was her. Well, Velma's the one who said that. The other ones just usually don't know who it is, but Velma does always for some reason. So, but the reasoning, why they expected it to be her is because she didn't go after Ryan. And I mean, to be fair though, technically, yeah, the monster showed up right after he was done skateboarding, but I don't know. I don't feel like they kind of focused on it like too much, honestly. The monster was also doing other things. He wasn't just like kidnapping skateboarders. He was also, he was also, terrorizing other stuff too. Like he almost killed people on this bus and all that. So I don't know. I think the whole thing is just kind of confusing and all that. Also, they never reveal where the kidnapped skateboarders went to, so I'm guessing they're dead. So I guess rest in peace for the skateboarders, because they never reveal where the hell they went. They just end the episode, so I'm assuming they must be dead. So I guess that makes her a freaking a serial killer too. So I don't know. I just think the whole conclusion to the episode really hurts the episode for me and all that. But I don't think it's a bad episode. I don't think it is. But it kind of runs into the same problem that a lot of, episodes of this show do. Is that they have a conclusion to the episode, but I feel like they kind of do a poor job at executing it. Either they give the villain a stupid reason, for doing something, which makes no sense, or they just, or a lot of times they'll make the villains actually good, and don't explain, why they, explain why they try to kill someone, and all that, if they're innocent. Kind of like that episode I reviewed, of, the Titanic twist, or whatever the heck that episode was. It makes no sense, but yeah, I don't know. I just think this episode is alright. I don't care for it that much, honestly. I feel like a lot of these episodes, honestly, don't hold up as well as they did when I was younger. Actually, when I was younger, I was actually terrified of this monster right here. I was. I mean, I still watched the episode, but he freaking still terrified me. I actually didn't like watching the beginning. I don't know why. I just didn't like. It was kind of like that with the original show a little bit too, but mostly this show, because like the monsters would show up and all that, and I don't know. Like I felt more safe when the gang was on screen. I don't know why that was. I don't know. I was little, I was little, But yeah, I think this episode is an alright episode. I definitely don't think it's the greatest. I think it's just alright. They do have some culprits and all that, but like I said, the execution makes no sense. Like, I feel like they didn't need the whole, with the judge trying to use the phrase that, like, they wouldn't let girls allowed on the skateboarding thing made no sense, because, like I said, she was dragging one off, but yeah, she was dragging one off, and, they could have just made her, like, cheat, try to cheat because she wasn't good at skateboarding, but, I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and letting things go from here. I will see you all later. Have a nice day. See you all next time. Bye-bye.